Well, hello again, another little video. This is on how I've converted my Class 68s, the couplings. Also one a little bit on magnets, and the other bit is how I set my locos using GMRI to work to the speed that I set in here, because they do not work properly sometimes. So first of all, I'll go on to my 68s. I've got a Scott rail, I've got a direct rail, and I've got my transbanner, which I've got here. And what it actually is you know, when you've got these particular trains, there is only one connection at the back there. And what I've now got a conversion kit to do this end. And what it actually is this. This is a Class 68 close conversion. That is the part of the kinetic coupling, and this part is the NEM coupling, and that little bit there, the V there, slots into there. I'll show you what it means. Now, one thing is, I didn't use this bit because I don't want to use this, because what it is that little spring there has to be connected to it, and I don't want to get involved in putting that spring in. So all I wanted was that little bit there. So as you see, this piece here, which is the one with an M coupling on, with a little V, when you take the balance off at the front, that is what you see. There's the kinetic coupling there, and that little V there, that is where you slot that other piece in with your M coupling on the end. And those are, let me say, they are £4.60. They are from DCC Supplies. There's their website and their email address and their phone number when you can contact them. These are actually the suppliers for all the spares for Dapol. So that is one good thing. At least we can get the spares for locos now. So one thing also I bought, which were £7.50, I think they were these, which were the slotted valances, like that one is there. Once I've put that in, I put that in and it covers it up. So that is what I've been doing with those. Now, one thing that, as you know, we're going to magnets themselves, is I've always had this, which was a lollipop stick with a magnet on to turn my coach lights on and off. You know, wipe them on, wipe them off, and that's how I worked them. But my friend Clive made me these, which is the magnet the same, but it's got holes, and what it actually is, you can put a nail somewhere and hang it up like that so you don't lose it and you know where it is. But since then, he's now made me these little shrouds, and what that is now I've got it there, which just slots it in, very, very good. And what that's for is, when you've got these couplings like this, is if you use a magnet, the magnet sticks to the hooks. So you just do this, and what it actually does, it uncouples them like that. I can do it that way, I can do it that way. And they're not sticking, and they're brilliant. It's a brilliant idea, and thank you very much for those, Clive. Much appreciated what you do for me. So he also did these little signs, you know, for marking where all my trains start from. So also some little headers to put on front of locos. So that's one thing he's been doing for me. Now when it comes to magnets themselves, right, as you know with these, they droop down when you're running them. So if you run in reverse, the hook on the bottom tends to hit the point motors or the pointers itself. So most people cut the bottoms off, but I don't. I only put them on these. But these are the normal hunt coupling ones. You've got an A and a B. I've lost it a bit, it just dropped off somewhere. And what it actually is you've got to have the wagons the right way around to make them to connect magnetically. And then, as you saw on the last video, I used these, which are just get them right. which are the Hornby vacuum type. Now I've got those on these here because these were notorious for uncoupling when they went round parts of the track if you got a bit of an unevenness. So they got now couplings, the Hornby ones on there. I've got them on here as well. There's one on there and there's one on there as well. So we actually, in fact, same way, just pull them apart like this, and there they are. You can actually just see them and they connect up. So that is one thing I've done. Now what also is I've found with these, which are two pairs, and what they actually are, they are couplings for Class 68s for Mark 5 TPE coaches, like that. So that's what they are. Now one thing with these, this works similar to the normal ones, but you can actually turn one end round and they work just the same, so they are very, very good. These are £10.93 for two pairs. There's two sizes in there. There's not much difference, you can see, but I've got them. And what I've actually got, I've got them now sitting here. You can just see them down there, and I've got them down there to connect my coaches to them, and they work perfect. I'm very, very pleased with them. Now, because I've done all that, it's easy for me to run my logo. I don't normally run double headers because my track is flat. People who've got gradients, you know, they're going to use double headers. These are perfect when you're using like 68s. You can use them on anything really, but I've got them on my 68s. They were designed for 68s really. Now, one thing I've done is this particular point here used to be a Hornby point. Now what happened is that these little steps down here were hitting the point motor. So I've now changed it now to a Pico one. For one thing is Hornby normally sit right up to the rails. These sit a little bit away from them, and also they're lower. So my 68s will go in there now with no problems whatsoever. And also is, you most probably have seen it while I just been doing this bit, I've now put my program track and made it to the side of the layout. This one here is my program track for my Railmaster, which goes through my Elite, which is sitting in the back of there. And this one here is for my JMRI, where I set all my trains up from. And that is connected to that, which is a Sprog. Now, I think on the last one I did, what I can actually do is I can take this cable out of the Elite and put it over this side, and I can run my JMRI running my railway. But I don't that because one of the things is with JMRI, you can do all the locos, but you can't do all the points and signals and everything else. There is a way of doing it, but I don't want that. I just want it for programming. So what I've got now is I've got this little one sitting on here. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just come out of here for now. We'll go to my JMRI, which is this one here. I've now lit up that one and I've turned it on. Now if I now go to the throttle, which is here, if I now go to 50%, click it, look how fast it's running. If I put it in reverse and do 50% again, it's too fast for this loco. This is supposed to only do 10 mile an hour. If you put it in as a Railmaster, it'll go as 10 mile an hour, but I can control any train I want now. So what I'm going to do with this, I'll show you how I do this. I now go to here, and I go to my program track here, or programming mode. I go to my speed table. This is what normally is when you've got it switched on as such. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one down here, I'm going to take it right down to here, like that. See, it's got this bit of a curve. You can leave it like that, but I'm going to speed match it so it goes straight line, a linear one. I now write this, now watch this for speed. This is how quick it reads CVs. If you do 30 CVs on Railmaster, it takes 2.5 minutes. this can do this in seconds. You can do the CBs on the, if I go to the CBs here like this, and I can write them in here as well. So if I do this, close this. Now if I now go back to my Rushton, turn it on, I now go to throttle again. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this at 100. Now imagine, it was at 50, now imagine what this is going to be at 100, watch. Look. That speed curve is now controlling my loco, like that. So if I had to just do this and put it in reverse and do 100 again, that's how you can control your locos. So say if I put my 68 on normal Railmaster and put it at 50, this thing goes around at about 80-90 miles an hour. So by putting that speed curve in, I can actually slow it down. So what normally would happen is when I put this on here and I have to put it to the speed table, I would automatically put this down to about half and then run the train to say what it runs like. But that's how I run those. Now then, just while we're on the subject of this, this is one of my iPads, and this is an app you can download called Wi-Fi Throttle. Now, if I just click this now, these are all the trains on my roster. What is on there is on here. It picks it up automatically. If I now go down here and go down to the Rushton, which is there, click on that and put it on set, that now turns it on. If I now go to the settings down here, now on here I can do two things. I can actually have it on the road throttle, which means I've got, on that I've actually got the functions down here and the throttle down here, or I can have it the other way around. And there's another one called yard, but we'll show it on this one first. So what I do now is I go to this throttle here, like this. So there's a normal one, like this. If I now push this up like this, you'll see the train going like that. Bring it back and slow it down. So what I can do now is I can actually go from that and go to this one again and go for a shunting mode, a yard mode as it's called, right? Now go to the throttle again. Now you see I've got two. I've got forward and reverse. So if I actually go forward, the loco goes forward. If I now go put on idle, and I now come backwards like this. So you can imagine that that's for shunting. It's beautiful for shunting. And just put that on idle again. And now I can turn this off for now. I don't want that for now. So I can use that through the GMRI and control my trains on the iPad if I wanted to. I don't do that, but that is one thing I can actually do. So what I've got now, if I just come out of that, I don't want that anymore. I'll go back to my Railmaster. Now here I've got a thing called double headers. If I click on this, now as you see, this is because it's in demo. It's only showing the ones that are on there. That's the way it works now. What I've got is Direct Rail, ScotRail, Serco and Rushton. They're all set as double headers. You can put up to 5 double headers. So on double header 0 or 1 as you might call it, that's that one, and that is the second one. Now with Railmaster, if you've got the normal Railmaster, you can only put them nose to tail, like that. But with the Pro, if you click on this, you notice it's reversed that one. So I can actually turn this train round and put it that one back to back. So I can do it either way. So if I actually just do this and put it back to normal and click this, and if I actually come back in again, oh sorry, don't want that, don't want that way. Right, so let's put the reverse. Now what I'm going to do is show you this one, which is the two shunters. Now then, when I speed match these, what it is I run that one round, check it on my speedometer. Now the speedometer which is in here is used like a circuit board, but my mate Clive made me this box to protect it, more so protect this part where the sensors are, because any light coming in, it affects this. So what I've got now is that is a normal Hornby, that is a Hornby, that's got a Hornby decoder in it, which I can't control, but this one has got a lens control in it. So what I actually do, I run that one, check the speed on that one, and then set that one to match the speed of that one. So what we've got now, I usually use the headers on these, so I'm going to go for mainline. I'll just put it on cruise. There we are. Stop it. I'll put it in reverse. Bring it back again. And that's how I can control. Now if I just take this one off the track now, by the way, this one is a very, very old loco. It's actually hardwired, this one. A friend of mine, Fred, sent me this one. He sent me 6 locos in he didn't want. What he used to do was actually check a loco, set it in for him, everything else, and he said, I've got this loco, I don't like it, do you want it? I said, yeah, if you don't want it. So I had 6 of him. But so that is that one. Now what I'm going to do is this one is set at 49.6 mile an hour. That comes up as 49.6 mile an hour, so they'll not part. So I'm going to now run the ScotRail. I'll put the lights on up front. Here we go. Now what we have to do is watch this. Now it takes some time to warm up, but it should be 49.6 mile an hour. At 45, it will increase to 49.6. Normally does. I set each logo separately so that they are exact. I think it's this next time around it comes around, it does about 49.6. But that is the normal speed it does. Depends on the temperatures in the room and everything else. Yeah, 49.6. So if I run both those trains separately, that's what I get, 49.6. Now that is as close to the 50 as I can actually get it. But that actually does what it's told to do. Now, this particular one, this one is a Hornby Class 87. It's got a Hornby decoder in it. This is actually set at 60. Now actually what I have to do is I have to move this over here a bit, else it doesn't work properly. Shouldn't do. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the Class 87. See, there's the coach lights on. Now this will, there you are, 52 mile an hour. And that's set at 60. So it's 8 mile out. And it will not change. Then the only way I can actually do that is to, I'll bring that round here because I need a bit more. What it actually is, I need to put other than a Hornby decoder in. As I said before, with this system you cannot control Hornby speed locos. So what I've actually got also done, these are my, I've got all old stock. I haven't got any new stuff. I can't afford £50 odd a piece for coaches. Now what I've actually done here, as you can see here, I've actually got one of the couplings on. And what I've actually done to it, I've taken the hook off and I've glued on the top of there a Hunt coupling. And that's actually I've matched it to the height of the locos. So watch. Yeah. So I could actually run my locos like that now. I could turn the locos round and use a hook, but now I can actually use the magnetic couplings on everything. I don't think I can just do that. I can change that, take that train out, put another train, back it in, and it'll just hook up to it exactly like that one. So that is what I've been doing. So I've actually just done a chap. he couldn't get the system working. He'd been onto Railmaster. He had it deactivated, reactivated again, and he couldn't get it work properly. He managed in the end to get it going from the evaluation to the normal. But what it was is I told him to put TeamViewer onto his system, which I recommend to everybody. This is the quickest way I can actually solve your problems. I went online. What it was, his INI file was only half of what I've got. So what I do is I copy my INI file. I've got two. I've got one for my Elite and I've got one for my E-Link. And I just copy that file, and then what I do is go to his, at the bottom, just go the next line down, put my new one in, take his top one out, and you'll get exactly what I've got. Both my systems, this one for the Elite and the one for the E-Link downstairs, have been working for 9 years without any problems. So just check. You should have about a page and a half on the INI file. So I can do that. I changed all these round to shunt, cruise and stop on them. Changed the buttons. So as you see on mine, I've actually got these light up. So if I actually go down to here, see it's on red, lit up red for going that way. If I now click into this one, see it lights up green. It's like a mimic. I can change them round. I can put the signals in. I can do anything you want with the system. So all you got to do is give me a call. I'm on 01782 302194. My email address is there. I'm here 7 days a week. You won't disturb me. I just love talking to people and trying to solve their Railmaster problems, and sometimes the local problems as well, which you have. So please subscribe, and also at the bottom, just here, there is first comment. There is one there for donation. Please donate to the channel, because this is the only way I can actually keep the channel running. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.